Hello world. It's Darkwater or Danlax 300. Today I'm going to tell you about an almost forgotten entity class in the game of Garry's Mod. Entity class is a set of properties and permissions set to a physical object in any source game. For an example, an ordinary prop you spawn through the menu or console has an entity class named prop_physics. But today we're going to talk about such entity class as Phys_magnet. Phys_magnet is an entity class presented in most the Half-Life series and a few Source Engine games in particular, such as Garry's Mod, where Phys stands for physics, and magnet is obviously a magnet, which I will call it like that, just to simplify it. As said, magnet has its own functions and properties. It firstly appears in Half-Life 2 in the map D2_Coast_01 episode Highway 17. In the 12th version of Garry's Mod, a tool appeared named Magnetize, which allowed players to turn any prop physics into a magnet. Let's look at the abilities of the magnet. You can find and toggle a key with which you activate the created magnet, change power and the allowed number of the magnetized items on the magnet itself. You can make it activated forever, meaning you cannot disable it by accident. Testing it with random props, you will get that it will only work with some props that are metallic, such as being green desks, lockers, doors, cars, buckets and many other things. But you can in fact attach a plastic plate to it, because it is not metallic. That though does not prevent the magnet from showing its true power. You see, by attaching several props or magnets to each other, it creates a wild amount of collisions and begins to shake, glitch out, fly around and hit everything around it. That creates a certain amount of lag points, and at one moment if done wrong, can crash a server. What's even worse, Phys_magnet has no visible settings to reduce its limit, as there is prop limit to prevent FPS drops and possibilities for a server crash by unfreezing several props. Server owners set a prop limit that you cannot bypass anyhow, and that stops you from spawning more props than it's set by the limit. Magnet on the other hand, hasn't even got such a setting, and no one ever sets it up manually because they don't even know about such thing existing. And that means that anyone with such knowledge can spawn 1,000 magnets, unfreeze them and crash the server. Yes, there is staff, they can find a bastard after the move is done by looking at thousands magnets spawning in the console. But server crashes are never wanted, as players might lose the unsaved progress for builds and much more, which drains the player count unfortunately. Some might say, even if it's that abusive and dangerous, why does no one know about it? There's tons of entity classes in add-ons and the game itself. Not much guys look through the code and gain their interest on some strange thing as a magnet. They don't really know what it does and don't have the interest to check its properties. But some really do know about it. Falco's prop protection does restrict magnet sets for default settings, but some owners might unrestrict everything and manually do the settings for the whole thing, which leaves the magnet by its own. And yes, magnets will work on any server if it's not restricted. It is a vanilla thing and is not supposed to come out of an add-on that the server needs to have. And it does work on popular EU servers such as NPCZ, Players vs Zombies. As Source Community Wiki says, Phys_magnet is a point entity available in all Source games. It acts like a magnet, attaching metallic physics objects to itself when they touch it. The page only contains key values, flags, inputs and outputs, which gets you to know why no one knows about it, because no one is even interested in such a thing as a magnet entity class. I just wanted to warn server owners and future server owners of such a thing. Yes, it can be abusive. Yes, it can crash your server. Yes, you might not even know how the fuck could such a little thing crash your own server with all the mod story.com content. But hey, the ordinary players out there, I really want you not to abuse this, because server owners and staff teams' only deal is to create a comfortable server with all the convenience for the players. Please, be patient and take responsibility in your own hands, or else you would never play on your favorite server again. Thanks for watching my video. I really endeavor myself to create it. Analyzing and gathering all the needed material would be really appreciable if you liked or subscribed or shared my video with your friends. Also subscribe to my main channel, Danlax300. Goodbye. 73.